Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me back on the streams with a new week and with a very interesting start to the week with the dip that we've got in the market. But we do have a nice amount of people watching, so do make sure you drop a like on the stream. Let's get the algorithm going in our favor today to start the week. And yeah, I do have a very, very, very special guest on the stream today, who I will introduce in a second. Let me just turn that music down a little bit more. I'll turn it down a bit more. There we go, just a nice bit of background. But yeah, I do have a very special guest today, and this is my good friend, Justin. How are you doing, mate?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. And here I am. Hang on, I need to swap over my camera. That is the other one. There we go. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Had a nice weekend and all that jazz. And then we've got a very interesting day on the market, haven't we?
What's gonna occur in 2 hours' time is going to be very, very interesting. We're either going to get a nice little relief rally, or more misery is about to cast a shadow over the crypto space.
Yeah, and it's a very, very red day across the market as well, no matter where you look. Altcoins are getting blown to bits. There's no other way to say it, really, apart from they are getting absolutely smashed. So yeah, we'll take a look at them. We'll obviously take a look at Bitcoin. However, those of you that don't know Justin, I assume that a lot of you have seen him in the chat before. He's always in the streams, but I'm about to blow smoke up his ass because he is most definitely, without a doubt, one of the best traders I've ever come across. So a lot of you probably will be familiar with Block Pro. I like to put him in the same group as Block Pro. Maybe he likes to take a bit more of a humble stance, but he's without doubt an unbelievable trader. So it's going to be great for you all to learn and take a bit of notice on how you can look at the market in maybe a bit of a different way than you look at it, and how to read price action. So shall I start off on my screen, mate, or do you want to go with yours?
Far away, Dave.
Yeah, okay, let's have a look. So as we can see here, let's have a look at the market. We'll go down a bit. We'll go to the daily chart. These are from this week. There's liquidity over here. What are your initial thoughts when you look at it like that? Have you got?
Well, I have my charts out, Dave. So I'm really looking on the daily. There's a clear daily resistance around about 106,000.
Yeah.
And then clear daily support around, was it 92,000, call it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the range I'm looking at. Now, we did close, there was another daily hold level of 101,230-ish kind of number. Yeah. There, yeah, which we held yesterday. So yeah, I'm looking at those candles around about, when was it? So like 7th, 8th, 9th December kind of time.
Yeah.
Looking at that as a kind of a hold level. So we closed the daily yesterday above that. So yeah, 101,300-ish. That's the one where you are now, Dave.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that kind of level there as what we wanted to hold, and it was kind of between there and 106 that of where there was kind of a price void, and where I thought we would consolidate in.
Yeah.
So the Bulls have got a bit of work to do this afternoon to kind of push us back up there and hold that level on the daily. Obviously, if we lose this level on the daily, then we're open, all the way down to 91k. I kind of say. Yeah, and it's one thing. The problem I'm seeing at the moment is not so much Bitcoin's pretty easy and makes sense from a charting standpoint. I think even ETH and Solana and XRP and all of those kind of dinosaur coins you can kind of make some sense of, but other alts are savage. Is that the word for it? Just absolutely savage.
Yeah, they're getting blown to bits, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are, without doubt. But when did that get back up there? That was a nice push up, wasn't it? On Dupe.
Yeah.
Wow, it went all the way up to 130. I sold all mine as soon as I got it. I should have kept hold of it. Oh well. Yeah, that's annoying. But
did you have to do anything to get your stuff on the Jupiter side of things?
You had to. So you had to just pretty much just do volume on it, but then there was little side ones as well. I think for like using like the DCA and other stuff. I think I got around 500 dupe. I think it was in the end.
Yeah.
Which at the time was like, I think it was like $400 what I sold it for.
Yeah.
So not bad for free. Like it wasn't bad for free.
Yeah.
Did you get any? Or have you not checked?
I've not checked yet, to be honest with
you. Yeah. You probably have got some. You've probably got some in there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's probably the only one I've really seen that's actually had a decent push up recently. That was a nice reversal on that. But yeah, everything else. Say's an interesting one because Say, I think we looked at this last week. It's obviously kind of coming in back into sort of this area, innit?
A lot of alts have kind of fully retraced or close to retracing their pumps from the 4th of or 5th of November.
Yeah. Yeah.
So depends on what you're looking at, but if it doesn't hold at this kind of current level on the altcoins, then I can see somewhere between them 15 to 30% drop, depending on what ticker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, looking at this, I mean, this is pretty much in danger of going back into this sort of range, in it here.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it traded previously.
Which is obviously you would expect to bounce here or within that zone because it's such a, I mean, you can see it's a key accumulation area. But the problem I'm seeing is if you look at the correlation between where Bitcoin is and then look at Bitcoin dominance, and then you look at the total charts, it's not the prettiest. It feels very much like we are not last chance saloon, but we're at a key phase because I'm not sure how much more the alts can take it because they've just been hammered so badly, and we saw a flurry last week of delistings on some of the smaller coins, altcoins, which is obviously going to continue to happen if the volume drops off.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're probably the same. I'm getting 3, 4, 5, 6 notifications a day from different exchanges going new listing, new listing, new listing, and there's only so much capital to go around.
Yeah, well, I think I've seen the stat, and there's now 30 million altcoins. Obviously, mostly due to pump fun, which is just absolutely insane, isn't it? It's unbelievable, really. 30 million altcoins, and obviously, this is something that we've discussed on stream before. And just the difference between this cycle and last cycle is as wide as you can get, really, in terms of altcoins, because last cycle there was roughly 3,000 altcoins, which is why everything got pumped so hard. The liquidity is just spread so thin across the market now. There is just not the capital, unless we get a couple of 100 billion in inflows from new participants and new money. There is just not the money to pump everything simultaneously in any sort of significant way. To where, they're going to do like 10x in a week, across a month, maybe 30x. Meme coins, yeah, obviously, that's still possible. But when you're talking about a complete blanket of the market and just everything, rising together, it's very, very difficult now, which is why I am without doubt, after this cycle is over, going to become a Bitcoin maxi, because I personally am fed up with altcoins now.
Is this the new outfit? Are you Michael Saylor 2.0? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I will. I don't think I'll go completely. I think I'll probably have like a 95% split. But I'm without doubt that I'm done with altcoins now. Obviously, still holding them. What I've got in my portfolio, but yeah, in terms of like positioning myself for next time, and what I'd be looking to buy once everything resets and stuff like that, I can't see myself really going too heavy into altcoins ever again, because it's just clear as day, and we've still got some good performers, like Solana, Sui. Things have moved, but in terms of like the overall market, Bitcoin. I think it was yesterday I was looking. Bitcoin was down like 0.04%, so pretty much just even on the day, and altcoins were still down like 4%. So like the weakness in them is just it's not shifting, is it?
No, it's just you just haven't had that. Like I say, you've not had that rotation yet. If you look at Bitcoin, completely makes sense. Clearly, Ethereum is lagging in comparison. So when I was measuring some moves over the weekend from the lows in 21 or 22, shall I say, Bitcoin's up 600%. ETH is 358, and I think Solana is 3,500 percent up. So ETH's lagging, shall I say, massively.
Yeah.
But it's very. I mean, the good thing is you look at ETH, you look at Bitcoin, that the actual charts make sense, and you can go. If we lose that, you can see the daily levels that hold. Whereas you look at, like I say, a lot of the general altcoins outside of the older altcoins, everything's just either all-time like bear market lows or barely clinging on to support. Outside of like new coin wise, you've probably got OM, you've got Sui, Say, but there's not many that you look at and go, my God, that looks strong, that looks poised to kind of run hard.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is really a do or die point for ETH, isn't it?
Yes.
Where it's at now, as a minimum, obviously holding this little consolidation that it had down here, but then it's pretty much just thin air in it, down back towards doing an SR test of what was resistance in this consolidation range here.
Yeah, I was looking at that kind of area. If you go on the weekly on Ethereum, there's a gap between about 2,730-ish up to, if you look at the closes, and you just draw a box from about 2.7 up to about 2.9.
Yeah.
Like that box there.
This bit.
Yeah. And then you pull that all the way across to 2021.
Yeah.
There's in that kind of range, there's not much price. There's only probably half a dozen weekly candles that have closed within that range. Yeah. So that range is clearly getting saved for a rainy day.
Yeah.
You can see it there, yeah.
So what is it, around about like up
up to the bottoms of them ones, yeah.
I'll change the thing, then. Let's put them in. Let's make him yellow. Let's make him stand out. There we go.
Should have done them red like your hat, Dave.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there you go. Make it better. There you go.
I've actually, I've got my MAGA hat on right now as well.
Have you?
Unrelated, of course.
Yes, that's right. But yeah, I like it. It's a nice hat, to be fair. It's a nice hat.
Especially on you, Dave. Looks sensational.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Likewise, like I'm sure.
Yeah, so you can see there, like obviously the price is clearly, since we've had the run up since the bear market lows, we've had the up, obviously the liquidations back down a few times into that yellow void in like the recent price action, and then it's clearly resistance and it's clearly acted as support. So that zone to me is market made to be left for another move at another time.
Yeah.
Because again, trying to understand why price goes to certain points. So something like that is, if you leave price voids, we know that price needs to go back there, and not only does it need to go back there, it needs to consolidate in there. So they're created intentionally to be able to create a range, create liquidity to then push through resistance or support areas.
Yeah.
So it's done 100% intentionally, which so I quite like looking for those spots in charts in general, just to where to trade.
Yeah.
Just looking at
If you go and have a look, let's have a little brief look at where the liquidity is currently building. So 24-hour, obviously we've got a decent chunk down at 90, just over 98k, and then as you can see, this on the 24-hour time frame, loads of build up from obviously on the way down. If we go to the 3, let's have a look at the 3-day. Yeah, coming up, looks like it's going to come up and attract to 100,000, 133 is where there's currently a decent chunk. What are we at now? We're nearly there, aren't we? We're nearly there.
99,910.
Yeah. And then, yeah, loads again built up on the way down, but there is some building now. This was a lot less stacked when I looked at it a few hours ago. So it has been building throughout the day below as well now.
Yeah.
But let's have a look on the monthly, because we have been in this range now, haven't we? For what must be getting on nearly 2 months now.
Well, I was actually looking at this earlier, or over the weekend, actually, just measuring some moves.
Yeah.
I've got a chart I can show you in a minute if you want.
Yeah, I'll put your thing on. Let's see what my trade's doing, actually. I did put a long on Bitcoin before on the stream account. Not doing too bad. Up nearly 4% on that. My Trump trade is not really too far away. Like I opened this. When did I open this? Yesterday. I'm actually surprised that I'm not more down on that, to be fair.
Too good, Dave. That's what it is.
But yeah, I'm enjoying this stream. It's good. I'm liking this stream account. It's good. It's good to come on and have some active trades when on stream. But
so did you, like last cycle, Dave? Did you do you think there's as many delistings and stuff going on this time around compared to before?
Yeah, I think but because like we mentioned before, there's just too much going on. There's too much noise. So things will have the moment, but then once they dry up, then it's on to the next, innit? For exchanges, what's bringing in the money and what's not bringing in the money. Like we did see, obviously DOP got delisted from. Was it just Bybit or was it somewhere else as well?
A couple of others delisted it as well. I think it wasn't BLOFIN delisting it.
Oh yeah, that was it. BLOFIN, yeah. It did actually get. To be fair, I mean, this is where it got delisted, weren't it? On this day, it was on Friday, but then it did. It did go up a decent amount. To be fair, from
Yeah, it had that rally, didn't it? At 130, 140% pump.
Yeah. All the way back up to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've not traded this in a while. Did you end up have you closed your thing?
I took a bit of a punishing on it, Dave, to be honest with you. I did take a loss, but I just literally, as soon as I got the delisting thing, along with a couple of my trading buddies, we just dumped it all in one hit. So it probably didn't help the chart because we held a decent amount of the supply. It had the rally. I don't know what happens here. I think it might be one of those. Because what did they raise? 170 million in pre-sale. It's probably one of the biggest showers of shite from the whole cycle.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was it, weren't it? On this pump here, it really needed to get back inside
the range
and stay there. But obviously now it's been fully retraced. It doesn't look like, if it was going to do anything, it needed to hold back inside here where it was in there for a while, weren't it? It's been in there for 4 months. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that now. I mean, this is probably something that we probably won't really look at again. Now that it's been
listed. I mean, it's one of those that I've kept. I sold my spot. I sold my Kirk's position.
Oh, we're getting some decent movement on Bitcoin.
So the first always obviously trying to regain 101.3 to get back in the range.
Is that what we're looking at? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we drawn out before, weren't it? Yeah. Let me reset this. I have zoomed in. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Let me just.
You do seem to get some technical difficulties, Dave.
Yes, I know. Well, I've got a new setup coming, so I won't be using my MacBook trackpad soon. I do actually have a proper mouse. I just always thought this was you, but I'm redoing all my setup. It's all getting changed. It's all getting improved and stuff like that.
The thing is that laptops are fine and trackpads are fine, but if you're going to spend any considerable time on charts, I just think it's better to have a.
Yeah, I do have a decent mouse as well. I've got a Razer, but I just haven't used it in ages. But once TMG kindly has gave me some nice equipment.
Made a donation
to use. Yes, he's gave me some nice equipment. So I've just ordered myself a desk extension thing. So I'll be busy on with that towards the end of the week, is setting all that up. But yeah, hopefully I'll stop having some technical difficulties from there. But yeah, good. I think we've gone and took out that bit now, haven't we? We was looking at it was just above 100k, wasn't it? So we took it out. Yeah, it was up here, I think. So we'll see what happens. So what do you think do you think this is just a massive overreaction to this news, obviously, that we've had out of China? Or do you think this might be something a bit more?
It depends how tinfoil hat you want to go with it. I have my theories with everything. I think Nvidia is going to get hurt quite badly today.
Tesla.
Now, my personal view is the claims that's been made that this has been done in 2 months and for $10 million or whatever it is, I think is complete fabrication.
Yeah.
No basis. There's no. The equipment and the computing alone is going to cost way more than that. It's not like you can buy a laptop down the local kind of electrical store and do it. So I just don't see the numbers, and I do believe it's a reaction, an overreaction. But the charts, as we've said, you look at the Magnificent Seven, they're all massively high, and the price structure needs a massive retrace.
Yeah.
In time, and this just might be the kick that it needs. Yeah, there's lots of gaps. If you look on the S&P,
yeah, it's left a sizable gap there on it today. But it's gonna be interesting for sure, yeah, because tech is getting smashed.
But the thing is,
yeah. So what is it? So what is? Because I've done a little bit of looking into it, but nothing too much. So is Nvidia getting smashed so much? Is it because there's now a chip competitor to it, or?
So from the very little I know about it, it's basically a rival to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it can do it off of chips that are way less powerful, blah, 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 done a fraction of the cost, fraction of the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is factually so, but I'm not necessarily always going to believe what comes out of the narratives that will come out of China.
Yeah.
So there is, if they can say they can do all of this stuff with basically using a Commodore 64 rather than using like your Apple Mac now, comparatively speaking, then I would go, don't necessarily see it, but okay.
Yeah.
I think it's fart, and I think it's going to be. I've been watching Bloomberg this morning, and there's a lot of narrative already coming out, going or casting doubts over the integrity of their claims. So you can see it's probably an easy one for people to get over. I think it's probably been used as a bit of relief to then be able to pump off of. I would be pretty sure that you'll hear something from Trump or his administration about it, because obviously tech and AI was a big narrative or a big thing that they were talking about at the inauguration and whatnot. So I suspect we get, I don't know whether it's suspect within as in hope or actually trying to use a bit of intelligence over it, but I think we'll get a bounce today.
You would assume so, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You would assume so. It seems. I mean, it seems a bit of an overreaction, I think. But I mean, you know, maybe it's not. Maybe it is warranted. But it seems maybe just a little bit of an overreaction. But I don't know.
But the thing is that the charts don't lie, right? The price will always go where price needs to go to.
Yeah.
So I was doing some work over the weekend on Bitcoin and just looking at the macro on that. And then you look at the total charts, and there's some encouragement there. But like you were saying, there's so many things that are at inflection points that if it doesn't hold, then it's pretty grim.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you my chart I've done the weekend, Dave?
Yes, let's have a look. If you want to add, press share your screen.
Okay.
So if you do present and then window or screen, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you do screen, then it will show everything.
Entire screen.
If you do window, it will just show you. You can just pick your window.
Can you see that? Does that come up?
Let's add it. Yeah, there you go. We're on.
Chuck it on, Dave.
Yeah, you're on. You are live to everyone.
There we go. So I was looking at the weekly and just looking at, if we just call this bottom of the bear, and then just looking at the run-ups and then just measuring some of the moves.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at how long we've been in sort of like compression periods for. And I've been taking that from basically wherever we get to the top of the range and then pull back and then how many days it is. than what the impulse moves are.
Yeah.
So immediately, like time-wise, this here is obviously very similar to here from a timing perspective. And then like the impulses, wherever we get them from the base to them, it's pretty much around 100% every time. None of them are too dissimilar. And again, I don't know whether this is just me off of blind hope rather than actual reality, but you've had this like, longer consolidation here, then the impulse, shorter one, impulse, longer one. So where we are now in this kind of trying to measure this move and how far we're going to sit in this period for, I don't know. If we're looking at this kind of scenario, then hopefully we haven't got much longer. But
I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because you sort of think if it's extended, what's the likelihood that it consolidates and then gets a rally over the summer? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the likelihood of that? Not as likely as this being a short-lived consolidation and then we rally, into the end of Q1, maybe the start of Q2. I think so anyway.
Yeah, so are we going to get 100% move from here, first and foremost, like we have from other compression points? I can't see it because that's going to take us to, where are we? We'll be up like 180, 190 kind of area. I don't think we do one hit.
Yeah.
But just trying to, it's obviously every single time it's compress, pump. And at some point, we are obviously going to get a pump up and then we're going to start distributing down.
Yeah.
Before we get I still think we have this one leg, and then wherever this gets to, we have the final leg up. So I think we've still got pump from here, and then the last pump that kind of completes the cycle before we get the mega side.
Yeah, the complacency pump.
Yeah, but you look at. So I've got so many Bitcoin charts. There you go. So just ignore this entirely. But there's lots of to the downside. This was one of my charts where I was trying to.
I like this chart. I gotta say, I like this.
So all of these, the green boxes are essentially. This is price void, and then all the way down to 17,200 is also. These have all got to be filled in. Obviously, we've got this area here that hasn't been touched, but again, I think that's going to get left to be able to create enough compression to either take us down that way, depending on when it happens, or we get the move out. But that's clearly, again, that kind of void's been left intentionally.
Yeah.
So I've also just been looking into narratives of what might cause the next pumps and euphoria and all that kind of stuff. So I was looking at the China, Russia kind of things, but we might also have some kind of chip stuff going on with AI, China,
and
whatnot. So there's definitely in here, there's lots of untested parts of the Bitcoin chart where we'll come down.
I've always favoured that sort of 32k region.
Yeah.
For the possible, like high time frame, sort of higher low, I suppose you could call it. Mega high time frame, higher low, but that sort of retest on that, which I think makes sense. It makes sense. For us to probably go back down there at some point over the next 2 years or whatever.
So where we got to be now, that I'm not even going to talk about old shit, but we've got to stay in this range here. If we lose this, then it opens up the liquidity that sits down here. Obviously, it's such a key psychological level as well, 100 grand. Obviously, we're in trend line season. Not that I favour trend lines at all, but you can see that a lot of charts are being set up by the market makers to have these lovely little trend lines on a time frame basis. But we had a nice tap from the liquidity this morning. So it's really now, it's where we close the daily. If we close the daily over that 101.2-ish, then we're going to go and retest the highs again. This trading range right here, as long as we hold the daily candle, the closes, pretty easy zone to trade. Such a clear invalidation from where the closes are. But I think as soon as we open or close a candle above this level here, I think we see the all-time high getting taken out pretty quickly, and I think we'll run up. I can see in where are we? I have got another chart.
I personally, I think like 120 to 130-ish is probably.
So you can probably see this in like if you measure the move from down here to here over a week period, it's 23% move. So you could see from here, if we hold, it's only a 20% move to get to 120.
Yeah.
Which I think's very, very doable. Within a week, I would imagine. But I think the key points, you look at SPX, we're going to probably open down here somewhere, but we've got some open points on this chart where the gap needs to be filled.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this might get closed today, which will be a good thing because then that allows us to kind of then run up. My personal view is we probably get about 10 to 15% pump up on the S&P before we get a pullback, a decent pullback. So that's kind of New York Open will kind of dictate how this kind of looks.
Yeah.
Might have a joyous markers we got. I've got so many alerts. The DXY is, I've got so many things charted. We're coming to pretty big support area around here. So you can already see where this might go. If we don't hold here, if we get a little bit of sideways movement here, you can see us maybe head and shouldering that down there. Not that we particularly like patterns, but I know the market makers like to do this for retail and people to try and trade. But that's a pretty easy one to kind of read at the moment. So my biggest concerns are Bitcoin dominance, which we are. I think this is a retest point we need to get to. So we've taken out this high now, so that's done. So we've got 3 more points or 2 more points to potentially tap out high-wise. Obviously, we can see above here with the wick that this is liquidity, especially here. So my personal view is we need to see Bitcoin dominance have a proper rejection and a hard rejection and come down to at least this point here to allow any alts, any breathing room whatsoever. Now, I was hoping that the we was going to get this by Bitcoin pushing up and allowing alts a bit of breathing room. Obviously, the markets had slightly different ideas to myself, and we had to push down, which is fine. This is still valid, so that I'm watching this like a hawk, because this is probably the one to reject from 60.5-ish kind of area. But we need to see a hard rejection, break these lows, and get that break structure to actually signify that there's a bit of rotation happening.
Yeah.
What else is concerning? So Bitcoin, easy. That's relatively straightforward. We can see where we're at with that. Bitcoin dominance. Kind of see what the plan is there. This looks like a bag of shite.
Looks horrendous, doesn't it?
ETH Bitcoin. We've been in this downtrend for like 1,400 days, I think it is.
Yeah, it's been what would it be now? Must about over 3 years, isn't it? I think.
So March 21. So we lose this on the daily. We're coming down here, and that is a 20% drop for all coins.
Yeah.
I can't see it personally. Well, never say never, but I think what we're going to have to do is just get a nice little range going, and then hopefully get something like that out.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, then I don't know. It might be best selling everything at that point and going to find something else to do, Dave.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the key thing for where it is now is it's come back down to the origin of the whole move, hasn't it?
Yes.
Of that 2021, you know, surge up. It's pretty much there. So if it is going to go from anywhere without dropping lower, it's going to be here. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be from this place. But I mean, just the downwards trajectory of it is unbelievable, isn't it? When you look at it,
it's just no strength whatsoever. You're not seeing a reaction at all for the key zone, and whilst it's not great, at least we've liquidated last Monday's low this morning on Bitcoins on the 5-minute. Okay, we've had the liquidation, bit of compression here, retest, and then nice breakout.
Yeah.
And that was Monday open last week coincides with exactly that. Obviously, this level here.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious where we need to hold. So yeah, we need to see some strength, but we're not seeing this kind of move from altcoins when they're getting smashed into the demand zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at this at the weekend as well. This is one that my mate Christian put us onto. So this is the others chart. So it's like the total chart, but it excludes the top 10. And oops, didn't go too long. Yeah. So again, you can see very clear downtrend, but again, however long we've been in this range, you can see the daily hold level. If we close the daily below here, then we're going to probably come and retest down here. So you're going to lose, what's that, 50, 60 billion off the, which is obviously not ideal. But also a slight glimmer of hope is if you look at this, bearing in mind where we are, if this level does hold, we've got maximum probably 20 days of further compression before breakout. So again, I'm gonna take that as long as we can hold the baseline. I don't mind the compression because then we're going to get a decent move out.
Yeah.
But that's you could call that bullish, I suppose. But it's just like you were saying earlier. There's so many altcoins now.
Yeah, there's too many. There's too many. I mean, really, like when you think about the next couple of years, a lot of them are they are done for. There's no hope for them. What ones, even if they do get a decent pump towards the end of this cycle, once that bear market hits, the vast majority of them are going and they're never coming back, because they just can't be supported, which is a good thing because they can be shorted down. But I think people have just got the appetite on it for the casino. Crypto is the world's greatest casino.
Which is absolutely fine. It's like there are a lot of good projects potentially that are going to just fall foul, and like we saw last week with the delistings, it doesn't take much if volume drops off.
Yeah.
That if they get delisted, and once they're delisted, then I don't know then what the process is to get them back on perps, and whether you even want them on perps in general. But I mean, again, like the total charts, we're still in a decent range with actual liquidity in the market. We're above the overall 2021 high, but this is Bitcoin driven. And if you look at the other total charts, they're just, we've had the liquidation. You can see where the liquidity is up here with the wicks, where the closes are. It's very easy. We've got to hold this box today with Ethereum, or we open up this area down here. So then you're going to see Ethereum drop down to these kind of levels, 2,700-ish.
Yeah.
Which I just don't think's that great for the market.
I mean, it would be great. It would be great to long because it would give a great SR test of that upside of that range it was in. But short term, everything would just get crushed again. So it's not ideal apart from the opportunity to long it from down there. Yeah,
but the thing is, it's just unless you get decent impulses out on the lower time frames and we get back. I'm not concerned about Bitcoin and ETH because whether you like the charts or not, this is pretty easy. This is it's really, really clean validations because of where the daily levels sit.
Yeah.
It's very similar on ETH. So I've got so many different ETH charts. This is my ETH chart of doom. If you want to see
it. Yeah.
Chart of doom. Is this the right one? No, it might not be that one. So many of them.
Yeah, that doesn't look like doom. That looked like hopium, to be
fair. Here we go, Dave. So all of these blue levels, obviously we've got this lovely trend line, but all of these blue levels are, we were saying earlier, the liquidity voids.
Yeah.
Especially if you put it on the weekly, it's pretty clear where it's at. So you can see these have been left intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
So hopes and dreams crushed zone once we get past here. So I don't think at the moment, because we're not really setting up to show much strength on ETH.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the lovely inverse head and shoulders, which is probably going to trap people because they're going to go, right, we break the neckline and then send it to the moon. If it was me, I would do that and then just nuke it. But that's because I'm nasty, Dave.
Well, because I think probably Bitcoin tops out in February, which would then give obviously ETH, a month or two to run, which you could easily see it running up to there. And then I think it's lights out from there on. but I don't think it's going to get. I don't know whether it's just because of how it is, but I just don't know if it's going to get the mega pump that everyone expects.
No,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like I said, there's so many different altcoins and stuff. Until it still hasn't made a high, right? It's one of if you look at the Dino coins and you go, right, XRP made a high, Solana made a high, Bitcoin made a high. The ones that haven't, you look at Polkadot, hasn't run the top at all yet. So, and I know there's lots of dot maxis that are probably in here.
Wiz is a dot maxi.
Wiz, but I mean, look at this. I mean, it's nowhere near its high. Whether it even gets anywhere near its highs, I would suspect we come in somewhere around about here, like $30 kind of range. But there's some, especially on the weekly, you look at these. There's some pretty easy levels to gain that you can kind of mark out. But the good thing is, looking at this versus, say, XRP, we've had the run up. Yes, we've had the distribution. We're kind of filling in this area now. I would say with this reaccumulation here, we just again, it's very, very simple. You know you're going to get a breakout once you cleared there on the weekly. And I think that's where, obviously, with the Stonksy stuff and your channel and everything, the advice to people would be start top down and look at, don't just drill into the 15-minute and go, right, I'm going to trade that. You need to know what's going on big picture wise. And I think people don't look and understand what's going on because they just go, well, it's the path of least resistance. I need money now and I need a Lambo tomorrow. So I need to look at 15 minutes and get as many trades in as possible, which I completely get, been there, done that. This phase of the market, with the lack of liquidity that we're getting or we have at the moment, we need rotation, and until we get, I think for coins like this, the good thing is projects. I think it's got a good community. Utility token. It's had a long accumulation phase. It's going to run at some point, right? So what are we? 966 days, 945 days in. But I can see here we've got this interruption in price. So we're going to either launch from here, or we've got a fall all the way down here before we probably break out.
Yeah. Make sure everyone's taking note on this as well. We do have a good amount of people watching this. You should all be taking notes, or following on with your chart as Justin's going along and making some notes on it or annotating it, whatever, because it is super stuff. But yeah, I completely agree.
Obviously, you're a legend at all this stuff, Dave, when it comes to doing the high time frame stuff. But the thing is, with the high time frame, you've got less noise, but you can see this was interruption price and resistance here, retest there, and we can't break above that. So we know that this is at $10.42. That is the level to gain on the weekly. And if you don't trade this area here and go, right, I don't want to trade that because it's not as attractive. Yeah. Once we claim that, you're going to run up to the underside of it straight away, pretty much. So FOMO doesn't need to happen. You don't need to try and catch the bottoms from here. There's always levels to trade off of, and this you can see so cleanly with the weekly charts that this yellow line here, if that doesn't hold on the weekly, then you're going to come down and test the next level down, and so on and so forth. But I would say, even if you are getting in now, whether this is perps or spot, and I know generally people will plan trades on perps and put their long thing on, and they'll go, oh, we're not that aggressive. Sorry, I'm not. That's not financial advice, Dave.
That looks like a weird idea for a polka dot trade. That
was a weird signal. That was.
Yeah. I don't even know how that happened.
A bit too much ambition, Dave.
Yeah.
But you can obviously, people put these kind of things on and set up their charts and go bang, right, that's my trade for a perps position, and then you'll go, right, I need to take profit here, I need to take profit here, I need to take profit here. I think a lot of people, when it comes to spot, just literally buy and then cross their fingers and then wait for crypto Twitter to tell them when to take profit.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you've got charts like this and you've got history to be able to show you where you should be looking to take profit, that's great. If you've got something more like, let's go to OM Mantra, then how do you do it then? And this is where you've got to, I don't want to say the words too loud, but you've either got to use fib tools where you're kind of pulling low to high and looking at the inverses of fibs, or you need to know Elliott wave, or you need to not to necessarily trade it, just to pick out spots of psychological levels, or even look at I don't know if we'll have it on here. Here we go. Even have the chart set up rather than USDT. Put the market cap charts on, and then look at where a particular coin is and where its relevance is and where its potential market cap is in the overall space compared to its peers, rather than go, I want this to go to $100 or whatever it may be. And this is the thing when people say, not going to be disparaging too much to XRP maxis, but XRP, and people go $589. And you go, okay, great. But that will mean it's got a market cap larger than probably the GDP of China and the US combined. Yeah. And there's little intellect or that's actually given to these things, and you see it in crypto Twitter all the time. So you've got to put a bit of realization of what actually really makes sense, and understanding, and especially something like this, you go, well, okay, right, the OM chart, if someone goes, what's the current price of OM? Let's go back to the normal chart. It's currently $5, $4.60. If you go, well, this is going to go to $100 or $50, for example, and you then put the OM market cap chart back on, so you go like 10x from here, is this going to go, is this a $50 billion project? I don't know the answer to that. But you'd need to look at its peers, what does that look like compared to the rest of the market and stuff like that, and just have a tiny bit of intelligence around it rather than hopes and dreams, because generally speaking, hopes and dreams will get crushed.
Yeah, 100%. And it's all about having, a realistic view for when you want to get out as well, innit? I think a lot of people become obsessed with trying to sell the top instead of just trying to sell, trying to time maybe 20% in the top or 30% around it, or taking profit when you've made enough money or something like that.
Yeah. Or the thing is, on the way up, right, you're going to have compression points. So let's say you're Christian or someone like that that's a brilliant investor, and you get in on the pre-sale down here, or even if you invested here,
yeah,
you're getting up to these levels and you're in from $1 billion, right? So now you're 5x. Well, you can use your projections for the market cap for taking profits, but you can also go, well, if it drops below this point, I'll just put a stop loss in there.
yeah,
Or I will sell at that point, or if a daily close is below this level. And it's especially now, and it's only, I'm going to be positive and say we are going to have an alt season. But you're going to suddenly get candles that push up here and do 50% in the day. But you can also get liquidation wicks down here in a day. So don't really focus too much on the noise of this. This is especially spot wise. Look at where the candles are closing. Don't worry about where the wicks are going, because that is just liquidity. The true support or resistance will be where the candles close, because that's where the market makers or exchanges, whoever, are holding the price.
yeah.
If it's this, it's just a wick to the downside and it doesn't hold, but you close here, that's your support. This isn't support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you do suddenly close down here and you're below this level, then you go, okay, right, well, where's the next level of support? Oh, it's not until we're down here. So you could just get a cascade all the way down here before you catch support again.
Yeah.
So, as I'm sure there are lots of people at the moment that have invested stuff down here, and they don't look like OM, and they probably round tripped it all the way, or maybe even worse than round tripped it to where they could have taken profit.
Yeah.
You can't, if you're taking profit, yes, you might go, right, I'm going to take 50% of my profit here, and this thing then does 100x. Fine. But if you can go, damn it, I've lost all this money, but you haven't really, because unless you've taken the profit, it's not money gained. Mm-hmm. And if you look at most, if you go, right, you've got your accumulation, and you got your run up, and you get here, people get a relief rally, and then it just nukes down. If you're looking at macro, it doesn't matter what this is. You've got your accumulation, you've got your expansion, and you've got your distribution down. Now, in here, this is where VC money's getting in. This is not big money. This is VC money for the most part that's getting in the cycle.
Yeah.
Proper funds and banks are buying here and probably selling like around here. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to get in when it's a new project and there's lots of risk before it kind of gets it's gone to market or stuff like that. So the smart money is buying after this phase, and they're getting out before this phase. And this is just hopes and dreams, and you might get really lucky and get into a project here and set it up here. Yeah. Great. But the great equalizer is time, and the more time that you're in a project, or the more times that you're doing a project, if you're trying to time this, you're going to end up here. Whereas if you're operating in this kind of window, yes, you're not maximizing returns, or you're not going for the moonshot. You can always keep a bag and let it run.
Yeah.
When you get this phase here, because if you go purely here, you'll see where the smart money starts getting out, because you'll have these long distribution phases. So if you look at this here like that, and then this is where you'll get the reaction here. So if you run it up here past this point, then again, you can go back to that Bitcoin chart that we were showing, whichever one it was, so many of them. Where's the one, Dave? I need to find the right one that I was showing earlier.
Which one?
No, almost there. I should label them, really.
Is it the one for the?
Here we go. Right, so where's my thing? Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Right, so you can see here, right? So accumulation, expansion. This is people taking profits, right? In here, in this area here, and you get a bit of it. Then it runs up again, more profit taking, runs up again, and they're taking profits probably if you split the box in two of this area. So anything probably above this point, you got the market makers and the people, the money that's kind of invested down here taking profit in the premium area, and then they're probably reaccumulating in the discount. And it's the same thing. So when you're looking at this phase, at some point we're going to get something like this at the top or near the top, and then it's going to come back, we'll retest it on the way down. Everyone will go, right, we're going to pump again, and then it never happens, and then it just drops and drops and drops and drops. And that's why paying attention to where the high time frame profit taking is, or whether understanding what's a distribution phase and what's an accumulation, will help you greatly. Ooh, that went a bit long. I'm going to stop talking now. Let you do your thing, Dave. For a little while.
That was absolutely superb. I hope everyone enjoyed watching that. If anyone does have any questions, drop them in the chat. It would be great to know what you guys are thinking in the chat. But as for
you think I'm talking nonsense, tell me that as well. That's fine.
But as for pretty much the summary of sort of just a outlook masterclass. That was it. So I hope that you was all taking notes. But where do you think we go from here? Do you think that we're going to drop down and maybe take the stops out of people that have tried to long the bottom and then reversal, or do you think maybe the stock market comes out the gates and just reverses the initial panic?
Well, one of the little games that you can play, if you use the fixed range volume profile, if we go to the daily open, which is there, and we're 5 AP from there. So generally, it's not completely foolproof, but generally speaking, wherever the price is above or below the POC in relation for the daily, when New York opens, if we're below, we'll sweep the Asia high or low, depends on where it is. So in this situation, if we are where we are now, we'll probably at least sweep here. Or if we're below, we'll probably sweep there. Or if the price is, say, up here, then you'll look for the next level of liquidity that New York will try and take. So it will be obviously this drop-off point here. So this is always a pretty good way of gauging where the market is going to open in New York-wise. Obviously, isn't always the case, but like I say, I have multiple Bitcoin charts with multiple points of interest and set up in different ways, depending on what I'm looking for, or just looking for different confidences. I say we probably. Oops, I'm not wrong, didn't I? I say things. You got this wick here. But I think this is such a key level to hold. Personally, and obviously the money it takes for this to push down and then to push that up 23%, and then you're at a key gain level, I don't see much point just basically eradicating those gains that we've made.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's obviously we've got this situation whereby the stock market's a bit turbulent. So we've got the 200 moving average has been liquidated below that today. We've tapped into the demand here. So really, we haven't been able to obviously take out the highs here on the daily. So if you can't take out the daily highs with the close, you're going to have to then retest the lows. Lows don't hold. You regain strength by taking into the demand zone, which we've done. So this may give us our energy to push out above this and liquidate the highs here. Chronologically, we're running out of time, unless we're going to really nuke. And then if we're really going to nuke, then as we said earlier, some altcoins are absolutely done and dusted at that point.
Yeah.
It feels to me that we need to have a relief rally, and if we don't, then I don't really understand. This makes, again, perfect sense. Understand this completely.
Yeah.
But you look at altcoins, and it's just a bloodbath outside of the big boys. I mean, these bags. I mean, look at this run up, ridiculous. So this is probably gonna come back down to like this area here on a better XRP chart. Yes, there we go. Daily. So yeah, I think we can see the liquidity that sits here in this range. So I can see us grinding down before we get the expansion up. It just feels to me that we need to probably, some of these dino coins need to distribute, and we need to get the rotation into some others, because so many others are down into really kind of key expansion phase. So you've had this here. So there is a gap down here, but are we going to lose another 15%? Maybe. I mean, you look at some of these. I haven't just charted all these for today. I generally have everything here in my alerts list has been charted. But you look at WIF. I mean, clear double top, but not just a double top. That's just a wick. You actually look at the closes here. Yeah. Haven't been able to gain. But outside of that, you've got this void here of price that we need to fill in. All that needs to be filled in. So the only thing that's going to hold this up is this interruption here. Yeah. If we break down there, then we're going to come down here. So you're on WIF, you're looking at somewhere between 70%, 30 to 70% probably downside. Which is, and again, you can see we broken support on the daily yesterday. So we're probably going to come down. So I don't some of them are absolutely horrendous, the altcoin wise, and I just don't know where we kind of hold support now on what the aim is. If we don't get the rotation, then it's not pretty at all.
Yeah, I mean, the only saving grace for Whiff there would be if it could go back up and reclaim in it. That's the only thing that could save it there, is if it can
Yeah,
put in like a deviation like it did on August 5th. Deviate below and then reclaim.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
the thing is, you've really got we either move that there, so we either liquidate below here,
yeah,
or then we've got this wick here, but then you're into the demand here. Personally, if the fact that we've closed dailies now below this level, I think we wick here. That's my view.
yeah.
And this will be I don't even know if we may accumulate here first and then get the push out, but you also might get, so you're either going to get the W or the U or the V-shaped recovery from there.
Yeah, I mean, even to reclaim that is a massive task, though. Now,
yeah, the thing is now you've got to reclaim this level probably there. You've got a 41% push.
Yeah, it's a huge task.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. It looks like arse, doesn't it?
I'm trying to be positive on things, Dave, but yeah, it
looks like arse.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, we'll see. One thing that we have got to look forward to this week is FOMC. That is on Wednesday. So, we're in for loads of excitement this week. I think we've got something else as well, haven't we? I'm just loading up FX Street now.
We've got nothing today.
No, we've got FOMC on Wednesday.
Consumer confidence tomorrow. And then Wednesday's the day.
Yeah. And then we have PCE on Friday as well.
Yeah.
And we do also have the first lot of GDP data for Q4 on Thursday as well.
Yeah.
So interesting. Very interesting. The expectation is that they hold 97.3% probability of them holding current rates. So I do suspect that they probably will do just that.
But you need a catalyst to kind of break this range.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, it's if for me this range has been mitigated. We've had lots of price action in here. There's not really a need below the yellow line for the price to be for very long.
Yeah.
Up here, I was looking around about, where are we? Mid-Feb as a potential last dates before we break out.
Yeah.
But for a reversal, you need a liquidation, right? If we had a liquidation, yes, we've liquidated below these. Could we reverse from here? Yes. But we closed the daily below that level. Then you open up the range lows, and we then need to probably find the next level to hold. Because if we grind back down to here, then that's not going to be good for anyone.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, also, one thing that is another possibility is that is it the top? That is also a possibility in it. Has it already topped? I don't think it has, but it's certainly a discussion point.
It is. To me, you would almost go, what's the point? And the reason why I say that is if you go to, considering we're a growing industry, and we have effectively from range, or from last year, the high in 21, we've done 24% growth, or in market cap, or that's where it tops out at. Does that seem like a bullish environment to me? Does that look like a growing industry?
Yeah.
Not to me. My personal view is we will go well north of 6 trillion, and I think it will be somewhere up there. There you go. There's a box I prepared earlier.
Yeah, there it is, ready for you.
And obviously that's quite a long way to go now. But again, talking to a couple of people about this morning, where do we, with the stock market pulling back like it has, is that potential rotation of capital of what could flow into crypto?
Mm-hmm.
You look at the gold chart. Let's put this on the weekly. So if you look at gold, I've still got it on here. I've got rid of it. So basically, on any election year, post-election, post-inauguration, there is normally a run-up post that event, and then there's something like a 15 to 20% pullback. So I can see us taking out this high here, personally, and then somewhere around that here, we'll get 20 to 30% pullback.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the older charts, so if we go to 2021, was it? Is that the last election? Yeah, 21 March. So around about here. So we had the run up, and then we pulled back and filled in the price. So if you look through history, you'll always get the price voids filled in.
Yeah.
So, and if you look since this run up, we've got all of this to retest here, at least to the tops here, just to fill in the price action. So until we fill in this, so I can see us getting up here and rotating out. Now we get to 2.9. This is around about $20 trillion market cap.
Yeah.
So 20 trillion, and then you get a. Put that back.
Quick, get off it.
There we go. Here we go. I'll go back again.
Go back on.
Back on. Yeah, so if you get a 20% pullback of 20 trillion, then what's that, 4 trillion of market cap or of capital that's potentially freed up to be able to recycle into other asset classes.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know whether I'm just clutching at straws, Dave, or whether I'm actually talking any form of logic.
No, it makes sense. It makes complete sense, and because of because of the way that gold moves as well, it's obviously a lot slower. That might sort of fall in line with maybe an end of year rally. Maybe whether Bitcoin tops in Q1 or early Q2, and then has a complacency run, at the end of the year, or if it just tops, dips, and then has its like cycle top at the end of this year, whichever way around it is. Obviously, like it coils up for the end of the year, possibly having like a nice rotation.
It's all the markers are there that we are days away, but all the markers have been there for days away for what seems like a while now that we're going to have a proper rally.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. Something's not quite right at the moment because you can see a lot of charts that have been held up, and then the people have just stepped away. So DOP being the prime example, huge investment to get that thing up and running, and then it's been driven down and sold into, and it's just never been able to recover. And I suspect that others will fall foul of the same thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'll shut up now, Dave, and let you. Do you want to?
Mate. Well, it's up to yourself. You can carry on if you want.
No, I'll shut up for a second and see. You haven't done the chat or anything today to see what people are saying, what people want to talk about.
I think they're just mingling amongst themselves, to be honest. How quick they grow up, eh? But yeah, I think the chat is just is mingling towards themselves. We are getting a little bit of a pushback down on Bitcoin now, but I am interested to see the reaction today. Let's go and have a look at Nasdaq. It's had a bit of a. Where was we? When did we come on stream? It was down here. Just pushed back up a little bit, up another 80 points or so. Let's go and have a look at SPX again. Same thing, innit?
Have you got the pre-market on there, Dave?
I have got it somewhere. I've got it on another watch list. I'll just get it up here. Let's go and get futures open. Yeah, so this is ES. So where are we? I don't have the one where it has the gaps in it though. What's that? What is that? That would just be this one, I think, wouldn't it?
It looks at the moment it's rallied a bit on the pre-market, where it's currently just over 6,000.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think this is. Where is it? Where is? Oh, am I on? What one am I on here? Yeah, I just should have. Thought I had. Oh yeah, here they are. Yeah. So let's have a look at Nvidia as well. Let's see where that's gone back to. So yeah, that's still. It's gone up a tiny bit from where we looked at it before. It's gone up just a couple of points. But it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be a big day for sure. Here's one. We discussed this last week. I got a decent trade on this on the stream account on Friday, I think it was, or Thursday. But have you loaded your Jasmy? Yeah, it's right into where I know you said you were looking at 2.5 when you gone a bit below. It went down to just under 2.4, but it is testing that region now. Have you loaded up on that, or are you still waiting to see what happens?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of looking now. I'm not adding spot-wise. I'm pretty much fully deployed.
Yeah.
Purpose-wise, I'm treading very carefully until we show some real strength. I'd really want to see that Bitcoin dominance dropping like a stone.
Yeah.
Because it's just running too hot. And there's, as much as I'm not a pattern trader, at the moment there's clearly that the market makers are setting the charts up that way. Now, whether that's setting them up to trap people, don't know, or whether that's genuinely a compression ready for breakout, also don't know. But a lot of altcoins to me are still distributing. They're not actually ready to impulse yet.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that is just a pullback, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems it. I mean, where is it? Where's say? I've got it on here somewhere. I'm interested to keep an eye on say because obviously it is coming into that level. I don't know where it's gone. It's on here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. So yeah,
safe season or soul season.
It's definitely Sol. We'll have a look at Sol season now. Actually, we've not looked at that yet, have we? So let's pull up Sol season. It's on here somewhere. There it is. salt season. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, salt season is Wiz is the Devon JC. And yes, I do like Soul Season. I own Soul Season. What are your thoughts on Soul Season, mate?
Love it. Big supporter. Love the team. Obviously, doing something with you, Dave, as well was sensational. So that's great. But the chart looks great. It's once the market environment is more conducive to capital rotation, I think the chart looks good. The team are good. I think it's going to do very well.
Yeah, I think so as well. And you know, a key thing to note on this as well is, you know, the people obviously around it have, you know, there's a lot of the supply controlled, isn't there? So that, you know, that's a key thing. Like, obviously, what's in the pool? There's 140 million Soul Season in the pool, which translates to
10%.
How much percentage? How many coins is there? I can't.
Billion.
A billion. Yeah. So there's 14% in the pool, and then I imagine the vast majority of the rest of the tokens are held in the inner circle. So it sets it up for a great squeeze at some point, undoubtedly, because there will not be enough coins to go around. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. Not trying to shit it, obviously, too much, Dave, but it's. See, I personally, I know some people are massive meme coin traders. I'm not. I will invest in them when I know the dev team or the market makers or whatnot. So this one in particular is got the right component parts to do well.
Yeah.
I just saw you on. So say, to me, say is basically now 29 cents, 29.0293 probably is the lowest. That's the daily fair value gap taken out.
I mean, it's all conducive in it to obviously what Bitcoin does. But I think it's given a nice retest on the daily.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see, but this might be one. I mean, it's.
But again, it's a very clear daily level to hold, right? It's the invalidation's pretty big, and I mean, it's a big old move
down. It's down nearly 60% from its December high as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I mean, I do think we'll get a bounce there. I've left that long open on the stream account on Bitcoin. I do still have.
Go on, mate.
Go on. No,
I was going to say, I saw you're in Trump as well? Not literally.
Yes, I am. I'm still in Trump. Yeah. I'm not actually too far. What's the market price? I'm about $1 away from my entry. But I opened it yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Because we were looking at on stream. I think it was it Friday? I think. Because I think it was the day that Save with Crypto was on. Let me go to the hourly. We were looking at this. So I was kind of looking. I think I must have drew that on the 4 hours, but I was looking for it to sort of come into, this range here. Because I didn't want to long it again on this the test of this one from last time. I didn't want to long that. So then I thought, well, maybe here, and then I missed. Oh, when did I? I can't remember when. It might have been. Oh, it was Saturday. I think. Let me get it up. But I think, I think, I don't know. I think it will get a reversal. I don't know. I kind of fancy it. So I'm in from here. Can't remember what day. I must have done it yesterday. What was that? Saturday? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I do.
What's your view on it in general?
I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I think. Well, the reason I've took the long is because obviously it's come into sort of this consolidation here from last time. So if it's going to bounce, it's probably going to be from here. Otherwise, there's nothing really to go off. We're going to have to wait for some sort of base to form. If it drops any lower from here, you're going back to obviously the exchange listing prices. But then, wherever it settles, it's going to be a waiting game then for it to come in, build a base. So that, wherever it settles, build a base. And then obviously then take off to actually have some valid price action to try and trade off. But I think, like this sort of place is like, last chance saloon until something like that happens. So I am willing to, in terms of thing, I suppose I like the chances of it getting a pump. This is just a standard launch pattern in it. Token launch,
distribution,
big candle up. Yeah. And then you get, the bleed down and then, maybe this is it. Maybe, maybe this is sort of the base, who knows? Maybe that's it, that it's forming at the moment. I fancy it up to about here again. I think I'd close it before then, but I fancy it kind of, back into that sort of range.
I bought a bag of it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a meme coin?
Yeah. Yeah. Thing is, I think they'll have something. They'll obviously have something for it, which will tie it into utility. But I think it will always be a meme coin. Like I think it will always classify as a meme coin. Whether they integrate it into this, this World Liberty Finance that they've got, or if he does something absolutely crazy and says, if you hold a certain amount of Trump coin, you get this benefit in the economy, or just something wild like that. Maybe they'll do something, I'm sure, but I think it will always be classified as a meme coin. What do you think?
I think it will have utility.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely. I don't think they would have released it if they didn't have some sort of reason to.
Well, the thing is, the reason why I don't think it's a meme coin, a pure meme coin, it was launched very, very strategically, timing-wise.
Yeah.
It was then on all of the major exchanges.
Yeah.
On perps within hours.
Yeah.
And then within a day and a half, 2 days tops, it was then listed on retail exchanges. So like eToro.
Right, yeah.
Things like that. There is no chance in hell, because if you Google it or you go onto CoinMarketCap, try and find a white paper and it won't exist.
Yeah.
You can't find it. So something is going to happen with it, 100%. In my opinion, it's not a meme coin, 100%. Yeah. And the people that launched it or responsible for it have clearly, it's come from the very, very, very top. And what it's like with crypto in our country, in the UK, and regulation and stuff like that, for a meme coin to be listed on retail exchanges within 48 hours without it literally being a free line whip from the very, 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 very top, whereby the government are basically going to regulators, do this, you've got no choice. Yeah. It's part of something else. Not being a conspiracy theorist, but that's just my views on it.
100%. There's definitely going to be something, and it was obviously well planned on the inside. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the good thing about Trump is that it's got it's got 3 months, so it's got another 2 months and 2 weeks or however long it's been out until we have more tokens coming into circulation. This piece of shit is a different story. I have no idea what this was about, why they did it, or where it's going to go. However, maybe, just maybe, maybe it is settling now. Who knows? But I haven't tried having a stab at this yet. Have you?
I had a little go just on a perps position.
Yeah.
Personally, on this one, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a meme coin.
Yeah.
And this is a bit of smoke and mirrors. Because everyone's going, well, there's going to be one from Baron, there's going to be one from this one, there's going to be one from that.
Yeah.
There was no way it was done as a profit, like to profit from it. Again, my opinion, because it would be such a tarnish on reputation that I just can't see it.
Yeah.
And I think from it, Trump, does he need money? No.
Mm-hmm.
What's he really interested in? His legacy.
Yeah.
What if Trump coin is intrinsically integrated into the US financial system?
Yeah.
And his legacy lives on forever.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100% going to put it in the reserve, isn't it? 100%. That thing is definitely going in the reserve, undoubtedly. I would be shocked if it didn't. With whatever he's going to do, whether it is going to be US-based coins or if it's just going to be Bitcoin, and he just puts himself in there as well. It's definitely doing something, and it'll be interesting to see how long it is before we hear it. My initial thoughts was, I think I discussed it with Crypto on Friday, is I think they'll drag it out, because I think obviously what they'll want is obviously it's doing its thing now naturally, which they'll know about, just let a token do its thing post-launch. But they will want some strength going into the unlocks, I think. So maybe we do just have a bit of time, and maybe they say, right, there's an announcement, an announcement of an announcement. And then closer to the time when the unlocks start, that's when they really put a rocket up its ass and give it some momentum with, whatever news it is around it.
Yeah. It'll be something, it'll be definitely narrative based. And I think it gets. The thing is, for me, I bought some on the spot, and I was like, if it doesn't do anything, so what? It's just a pump. If it does 1000x or 100x or whatever, then great. Yeah, at least you're in it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's got a good chance of, I would probably hold it. This one I've got on the streaming account, I'd be probably looking to hold it towards 40-ish, probably, maybe, before I close it out.
I think it's worth it. At some point, it's going to have an impulse, and once it gets going, it's just going to green dildo time, isn't it? Yeah,
100%. And there's more than enough. There's more than enough money around it to. If they want to move it, they'll move it. Do you know what I mean? They don't have to rely on the market. That's the thing with it, innit?
But the thing is, they control so much of the supply, don't they? And again, it's been done very, very smart, the whole thing.
Well, I think the Melania, I have no idea, And the thing with that one is, I think it's someone said in the chat on Friday it's 1 month until unlocks for that. So you just, unless they do something crazy for that as well, you can just see that being pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. And I eventually think come the next bear market, it'll be all the way down here somewhere.
I can't see. I genuinely think it might be something, but I sense that's a bit more of a smoke screen.
Yeah, probably. But it is interesting, because this does look like we'll have to see. But the fact it's not down today while everything else is getting crushed, It's 3% up.
But you'd need from here. You'd want to see a nice kind of above $3, and we've not just grind up, but a decent kind of impulse candle that will probably then distribute back down into. But at least that's your breakout kind of, and you can get it on the retest. I wouldn't personally trade it on that structure myself.
Yeah.
What do you reckon then, Dave? Up or down? We've got 10 minutes.
I think we go over the course of the session. I think we go up. Whether we get, maybe whether we get a flush, at the start as the bell rings, maybe. But I think, over the course of the session, I think we'll end higher. And I do favour it creating a nice long bottom wick here to hold, obviously, that level you've talked about. Because it is just a classic, would just be a classic trap in it. This would be, obviously the reaction to the news, but this consolidation here that we had, that would be a classic trap for tying in late shorts, which most of them have already probably been ripped anyway in this move. Yeah, but I do fancy a bounce.
But we haven't got any news today, have we? So
no, not that I know of. Unless something comes out sporadic, then I think we are all done. Interesting enough is, I don't know if you looked at the DXY, in Trump's last thing, but in Trump's last term, the DXY topped out the month he took office.
Well, the DXY on the monthly is a very, very clear top, I think it was. Let me just quickly. So I have it. So when was it? So September 20. So there's an open spot at about 120 on the DXY. But the problem with the DXY, for it to go up that high, you're going to absolutely kill some of the Forex pairs. So if you look at go on the monthly on the like pound dollar or the euro dollar, we're so bottomed, or we go to all-time lows. And I think there needs to be a recalibration, because that's just been grinding down, or the DXY has been grinding up quite a while. So the level I have on the DXY to gain, we'd probably need to get above 110, and then that opens up the range higher up. But but where is it? About 106 is the level to hold. If it drops down there, then the next level of support is 102. So it looks, it's open both sides, funny enough.
And that in itself has been in quite a range, hasn't it, for getting on around about 2 years or whatever now.
Exactly.
So I do suspect probably throughout the time of Trump's presidency that it does break down.
But the thing is, on the monthly, it's a really easy level to kind of spot to hold on the monthly. I dare say probably on the weekly as well. But we had the run up from September, basically. We've had a little interruption in price, and there's probably a bit of room to the downside that it needs to retest. I can see us forming a head and shoulders on it and then coming down. I think the DXY is basically front run the election.
Interesting. We've got Ryuk saying, thanks to my president, my portfolio is 90% down. Why? What did Trump do to your portfolio? I don't think he's done anything to cause a 90% drop in your portfolio, unless you went all in on Trump coin at like $60. Even then, that wouldn't be 90%. I'm interested to know what is attached to Trump to cause a 90% drop in your portfolio. I have no idea. We got Z saying, "Are you in a Jasmine position, David?" I've not took a Jasmine position, no. I closed the one from I think on Friday. I closed that out. But at the moment, in the streaming account, I'll probably take a long on it on my personal account, yeah, because it's coming to that region. But on a streaming account, I've used all the margin at the moment in Bitcoin and Trump. So not on a streaming account, no, but I'll probably go and have a long on my personal account after the stream. We've got Christian Justin saying, "Can you chart some gold?"
Me, of course. For Christian, I'll literally do
anything for Christian. We got Yongzi, hi from rainy Thailand. Hello, Yongzi. How are you? Are you okay? Good to see you, mate. And we've got ICT saying boiled chicken. That was rancid. That was rancid.
That was just uncalled for, wasn't it?
That was absolutely disgusting. Boiled chicken. Vile. What a horrendous thing to say.
What's the general sentiment I'll do gold in a minute. What's the general sentiment with everyone in the chat regarding market at the moment?
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Up or down?
Yeah. Let us know up or down. I need to run the toilet dead quick actually before US Open. I'll be back in a sec.
Go on then.
So I leave the chat in your capable hands, mate, for a sec.
It's quickly do. I can do gold in the meantime, can't I?
Yeah. I will. If you want to share your screen again, I'll put you on.
Done it.
Right. There you go.
All right, Christian, just for you. Well, daily's easy. Got to stay above 2,750 on the daily. And then I personally think this week start breaking out to the upside. And then somewhere between 2,850 and 2,900 is where we get the dump. I don't think it goes much higher than that. Again, I don't know if that's just hope, because we need to rotate some capital from other asset classes. But that's where we've got to hold for now. In the short term, might take out this low today. I'll retest here. Where are you thinking, Christian? Have you got any trades on at the moment? Gold? Oh, Dave sounds like it's coming back.
I am back indeed. I just need to reposition my camera because it has gone off with me walking off. What is going on here? We have 2 minutes until market open.
I'll stop sharing my screen then, Dave, and put it on yours. And you can...
I'm back on now. Yeah, let's come on. Are you going to come back on? There we go. There we go. All sorted. Baboom, I'm back. Right. I'm gone. Wrong way. Present. Did you manage to get some gold in?
Yeah, I think gold is very much probably get a... I mean, if you look at the hourly chart, there was a daily fair value gap at $2,771.
Yeah.
And from basically Friday, open or roundabout open to close, we held above it, and then all of the candles closed just above that level, and then we lost it, retested it, and then retested it again.
Yeah.
So, I suspect a bit further down, and then I would like to see the top taken out. Here we go, Dave.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what we're getting.
Yes, SBX is opened at 5,966. So that's on the middle gap in price.
Yeah. And it is pumping, if you can call it that. It's getting a push up. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is dropping. So dropping slightly anyway. It's dropped a couple $100. Yeah, at the moment, moving in opposite directions.
Well, that's one gap filled on S&P. The thing is, when I was talking to Block Pro earlier, he was saying, remember when we had the Nikkei that was that was down about 9% the other week, a few weeks or months ago, whatever it was. Yeah. And then you had the New York basically saved the day. So nice strong starts from S&P. Yeah.
I remember that very, very well that day. 5th of August it was. Yeah, I remember it very well.
Yeah.
Everything got absolutely twatted.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people, I might be wrong, but you don't necessarily need to chart anything
no,
outside of crypto. Crypto is intrinsically linked to the wider money markets, and so you should at least have a slight understanding of what's happening there and what is likely to happen, because it will have a bearing a lot of the time. Here we go, Bitcoin's starting to move.
Yeah, we are moving. Yeah, it's funny as well. Yeah, and a lot of the time as well, you don't even have to go off strictly off your chart. You know, if you've got that gut feeling, you go with it sometimes, don't you? You know, and you just trust your gut and you say it either comes right or it comes wrong. Which is why I took the long down here. What entry did I get? $99,032. I just had the gut feeling that we might drop more. Yeah. The gut feeling that we'll probably retrace all, or at least a lot of the downside move. So yeah, it's certainly interesting, isn't it?
It's just all part and parcel of what we do. And we're linked to it. And I don't personally trade news. I think news is a load of nonsense. I'm sure I've said that in the chats in here before.
Yeah, the only times I trade news is to long after a bloodbath like this. That's the only time is to buy into the panic. Obviously, you can sell into it as well. You can short news, of course. But obviously with the trend in the market that we have, high time frame, any sort of bloodbath that you get driven by news tends to be a good buying opportunity.
I think I find a lot of the time that price will go to where price needs to go to. So a lot of the time, the news is used as a narrative because people think that the market's moving off of that news, and you'll hear people go, "Well, we're expecting a rate cut. Crypto's going to go absolutely parabolic," and then we get a pullback, and it's like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand the market. But all of this stuff's priced in beforehand anyway.
Yeah.
And is it any coincidence whatsoever that the SBX opened bang on the middle gap in price? No, it's done it's all choreographed. It's not an accident at all. All price actions planned, and that's why it's just trade the charts. Don't trade what you hear. Trade what you see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Obviously, if someone just bloody set off a nuclear bomb, you might want to sell everything. But
yeah, I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter about money, though, does it? If we're all going to get nuked.
Well, the thing is, what generally happens, you look at, if you watch price, if there is going to be FOMC.
Yeah.
What happens? The market makers move the price into zones where you've got liquidity on both sides. And then that just means that both sides are open to getting hit, depending on the news. But a lot of the time, the news doesn't actually matter, and the price will just wick into liquidity to be able to create the momentum to get out of a range that it might be stuck in.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sol season bullish when memes return.
Oh, 100%. Sol season. Yeah. If you haven't heard of it, but I'm sure most people have probably heard of it now who watch the streams. I do mention it every week, but do make sure you go and have a look at it on Deck Screener.
Yes.
It should be a good time. And Wizards promised everyone a beach party if it does well.
Yes. He'll be the host with the most as well.
Yeah, oh, he will. He has to wear his Wizard outfit costume as well on the beach. So,
standard. I didn't think he had any other outfits. I thought that was it.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. That's what he wears every single day and night. Yeah, it should be a good time. Should be a good time. I keep routinely buying, to be fair.
Along with some other key stakeholders are all always looking to increase our bags.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the good thing, because there's still, every now and again you do have someone pop up with a sell, but most of the time, it is just us keeping buying. So
it's with things that have no intrinsic use or value, it is really then down to marketing and getting the right community. And fortunately, we've got two wonderful people, JC and Wiz, that are doing a great job at actually looking after the project, or invented the project in the first place, and then actually doing all the good stuff behind the scenes. So it's an easy thing to be able to support, and to be able to do it with people you know and trust as well. That it's not going to be, as with a lot of these projects, that people just rug it and do unholy things to it. We want to see its success, and obviously between a few of us, we're trying to be sensible with it. I have never sold. I have only bought, and I will continue supporting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
There you go. Christian saying, the only reason I support amazing people. None more so than yourself, sir. Is what I'll say to that.
I think I did see someone ask where he could buy it before as well. Jupiter, get a contract address off Deck Screener, and you will paste it into Jupiter. Easy as that, isn't it? As easy as that. You don't even pay.
Yeah, the thing is, you obviously got BonkBot. You've got you can trade it straight through your Phantom wallet. It's easy enough to do. There you go. Look at that nice rejection count. What's that? 5 minute straight off that 102 level to go. 1012.
Yeah, 3 times in it in the last, here.
Yeah.
Again here. Then opened the thingy out and then down again. But before as well.
It's funny. I mean, having charting those weekly levels and on charts or dailies, whatever you want to do, and then having the things of like Monday open, Monday high, weekly high and stuff like that, or lows. It's amazing how many. A lot of the time, the prices are set or planned for at the start of the week by the market makers, and you'll generally see those prices at least retested or held when they are tested.
Yeah.
When WizNac's back on?
But what?
When's Wiz coming back on?
I don't know. When do you want to come back on, Wiz? Anytime.
We could do it. We could do a little threesome, Dave.
We could. Oh yeah, definitely.
Dirty threesome with Wiz.
Yeah, we could. We could definitely do that. I'm sure Wiz would love that. I bet he sat there drooling over the thought of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it's good. It's much better having guests on than me doing it on my own all the time.
So how many you've got? Who do you have regulars? Don't?
Yes, Dave with Crypto does every Wednesday, and then he's really the only regular. To be fair, I know Crypto Coffee Club used to come on a lot, but he's had a really busy time at the moment. He is going to come on when he has time again. Imagine Project's been on once. That was good. I suspect he'll come on again soon. And then obviously, yourself, Wiz. And then, I think Jalapeno wants to come on, to be honest.
Oh my God, we could do a session, couldn't we?
Yeah, Jalapeno would be loving it. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good because I like what I like is I like it being more like a show than just sitting here, just looking at charts and that's it. I like the discussion and it kind of
the interaction you need, isn't it? It's good for people to look at as well, or the views and stuff like that.
Yeah, here we go. It's going for your level again here. It's trying. It's having a go.
So the first point of interest from here, if we gain over 101.2, is then Asia session high, which is 103.286.
There you go, everyone. To get that on your chart. And
then the level after that would be 15-minute back test. You're looking at around 104,500.
There we go. But yeah, it's I do suspect, and the thing as well is we'll see alts. Oh well, the ones that have decent strength about them anyway. Solana. What else is strong at the moment still?
Well, OM just doesn't seem to get touched at all on any.
Oh, yeah.
So we've had a really nice pump. Having a look on the 1 hour on CoinMarketCap. Tao, what is bloody called?
Yeah.
Has had a nice rip. So we've had a nice pump from almost 9% on CRV. So it needs it. If I was going to write a card to Blue Peter and ask for a dream for today, it would be closing the daily above 106. That would make me very happy.
Oh yeah. What a let's have a look at that. Let's have a look. Where did we open it? 103. Yeah, that would be an absolutely lovely lower wick, that wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That
but that's
yeah,
you're perfect. If you measure, so that if you look at that candle there, Dave, the one that you just highlighted with to the downside, that's the kind of candle we want today. But maybe even when do we have the candle? So look at the candle on the 5th of December. What does that look like if we was to replicate
this one here?
Yeah.
So
so a nice little, not a doji, but similar to a doji kind of thing. And then, so I think that daily candle was about 14%, if I remember correctly.
What, from the wicks, from each end of the wick?
Wick to wick.
Yeah.
Measure that. So that if we had that similar kind of candle, it would take us to exactly the high from last week.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some. The good thing about the price action right now, if you go on the hour or the 15-minute, it don't really matter. There's really, really clearly defined backtest levels of where we had to drop offs last night.
Yeah.
So again, you can see the low volume if the candle's just in a tight range, and then drop off, and then volume spike. So we'll probably retest that volume, which would be nice because that would give us probably some altcoins a 20% pump today, and then daily candles would look pretty interesting. Yeah,
I'd love a 20% pump on Trump. That'd be nice.
All for you, Dave.
Yeah, let's have it. How am I still in the red on this? It feels like it's been slowly moving up, but I'm still in the red on it. I was keeping that open. I do think that will return decently. I do imagine. Oh, but yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's going for it now, isn't it, Bitcoin? So we are. What have we got? 13 minutes until the hourly close.
Yeah. So like I say, the Asia session high. Look for that at 103,270.
Yeah.
And then the SPX looking okay. Gold's not really doing much. So I think DXY is pressing. Yeah, the US 100's a nice little recovery bounce as well. So there's clear backtest levels, and looks like New York saving the day.
Yeah, but it's typical, innit, of when we get this, when news, catalyzes obviously the speed up of where price is going, because it just rips the band-aid off, then, doesn't it? Gets it done quick, and then people get caught at one end or the other.
Well, again, it's fundamentally knowing how price action works. So, as we said at the start when we came on, like the clear daily range sits between 101.2 and 106.2. So, to move out of that range, you need to compress, consolidate, build the liquidity on either side, and then dipping into the demand zone and reloading energy to then go and re-tackle the highs. Basically, that's all we've done.
Yeah.
So again, it's, I think, understanding how price moves and why it moves and why it needs to do certain things.
Yeah.
Just makes life a lot easier to predict.
Yeah, and let's have a look. Yeah, we are starting to move now. If you look at looking at the 24-hour liquidity, we do have some nice clusters up right where you mentioned at the Asia high, right there. But then
that's the thing. A lot of these things, it's I don't really use heat maps very often and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can see where liquidity is by just looking at the charts and seeing where the wicks sit, where compressions are. It's if you can do that, you can pretty much plan where the price is going to go for the most part. So I've got a chart that I done early December.
Yeah.
And outside of slight chronological deviations near the end, I literally mapped every single level to within a couple of $100. It was a work.
Masterpiece.
If only I'd have traded it as well as I charted it, though.
Print it out and stick it on your wall.
I have got a Bitcoin chart that has been that is just been left alone. That so it was charted, and I've given myself an A star and just left it as it is.
Yeah. Good.
Save that for a rainy day.
Save that for when you next come on stream. I'll have a look at it.
Oh, does that mean you want me back, Dave?
Oh, mate, you're welcome anytime. Welcome anytime.
It's made a good impression on you, Dave. That's all that really matters.
Yeah. Oh, of course. It's good. No, it's good, mate. It's good. You definitely come back on whenever you want. The door's always open for you.
Whenever you want me, Dave, I'm there.
Yeah.
Within reason.
But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I've got a nice on there as well. So yeah, I hope everyone's been taking notes anyway and watching the amount of alpha that has spilled out of Justin's mouth today. I hope you've all scooped it up, put it onto your chart, or at least been taking a mental note. Z, it says, do you think Pepe will recover from it? Now, Pepe is quite interesting because I think Pepe is quite clear cut. Yeah, so this is obviously what we was looking at it the other day, and I thought about the potential of it just deviating here and getting back up there. It is coming and testing up there, isn't it? But not the most recent price action. It's still got a bit of a way to go.
That's where I had my point, where you've got your mouse there.
Yeah. Like, obviously, this sort of level that it's at now was resistance. Obviously, support, then resistance all along here. But, that's not the most recent data that we've got to go off. Obviously, we've got this, haven't we? Is that where you're looking at as well?
Yeah, you got the sell to buy candle on the 8th of November. That basically...
The 8th of November, where is it? Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah, this one right here.
You know, Dave?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah, sell to buy candle on 8th of November is where I was looking.
Yeah.
That's where we'll probably retest that interruption in price. But a lot of the larger cap memes had them massive great run-ups from price voids, and most of them have been retraced.
Yeah.
So you look at this, you look at Whiff.
Yeah.
All of them are in the same. You look at Brett, it's probably the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're motoring now on Bitcoin. Come on, ETH, break out.
Yeah. Yeah. Bitcoin, obviously at SPX, came in and retested this zone again today. That's up. What's that up? It's probably about 15% from the low there, isn't it? Yeah, just under. What else? Bonk. What's Bonk doing? Yeah.
Bonk I had. Bear with me. I was looking at again the 8th of November interruption.
Yeah, this bit here.
Yeah.
I suspect a lot of memes look very similar to this. Because obviously Pepe, similar. Obviously Bonk, similar as well. I suspect a lot of them look quite similar. What else? Popcat's interesting.
Yeah, that ran hard, didn't it?
Yeah, obviously.
Still distributing.
yeah, came into this daily demand, but it's dropping below. So yeah, potentially down towards here.
Bitcoin entering. Go on, Bitcoin.
Is it doing it? Yeah, is it doing its thing? Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? It's doing its thing. Yeah, fantastic. And that is why, everyone, you don't try and short into
support.
Yeah.
The golden rule: do not long resistance and do not short their support.
Yeah. But also, if you wake up on a day and we've had some, news to catalyze a move, that's also why you then don't try and get emotionally too over involved and then try and, because obviously, what time was it? So, most people probably got up this morning, around this candle, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever. If you would have woke up and thought, my portfolio's down, I'm angry, I'm going to try and short it, you literally would have shorted the bottom. So, yeah.
The thing is, it's for a price to reverse, a liquidation has to occur. So just go on the higher time frames and look at it. Have we liquidated a wick? Have we liquidated into a fair value gap, taken out an order block? Something like that needs to occur for a reversal. And we've done that this morning because we liquidated below the wicks from basically Sunday, Monday, Tuesday last week.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've been on for nearly 2.5 hours, so I think we will leave it there. I hope you enjoyed yourself, mate. It was good.
Very much enjoyed it. Thank you very much for having me.
Big thank you to everyone who's joined. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream before you go and check the links in the description. But yeah, obviously, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, you'll be ending the day in some green P&L if you managed to long it at any point. But yeah, catch you all tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. So,
cheers, guys.
Right. Cheers, everyone. Thanks very much. Bye. Peace out.